Here we go. Copy that. And ping everyone here. There we go. And let's see who's here. Hello, Mega B, Kozlu, Commando Boss. Ah, Commando Boss, you're a new one. I haven't seen you. I'm making an enchantment revamp. Today, what we are going to be doing is, since last time, we finished up the Stonecaller enchantment. And today, we will be working on the Comet Strike enchantment. The idea for this one is you're going to be able to, like, kick a comet up from the ground, and then whatever you hit it with, it will, like, retain the damage from that, hello, Aurball. It'll retain the damage from what you hit it with. So, I think our, next step, because if we do go in to test it, after we messed around with packets, right, we can make the server do stuff, and now it'll summon a cow. The Ultra Kill reference enchantment? Yeah, we'll do that eventually. Will it launch straight up? It'll, like, launch straight up and then, like, directly towards your eye level. And then it'll sit there. It won't have gravity or anything. Thank you. So, as of right now, if we equip the Comet Strike enchantment, let's give it a minute to load here. Okay, so here it is. So it should summon a cow every time and on a small cooldown. Which is exactly what we want. The only problem, though, is that it's not the entity we want. So I think our next step here is to actually add the entity. So I think what we'll do is open up Blockbench, and it's modeling time. So file new, we'll do modded entity, since I believe that's for, yeah, Forge. $1.20, no. Oh, available. Maybe it was, let's look back at, modded entity here. Oh, it was 1.17 plus. That makes more sense. Thank you, Kozlu. Hello, Calm Guy. I haven't seen you either. Okay, so, we'll just call this Comet. And this is a pretty simple model, so we shouldn't have much problems, but let's go ahead and add just a simple cube here. I'm not going to make it very big. Actually, let's keep it right there. Let's make it just 3 by 3. And then we can kind of take inspiration from end crystals. Yeah, no, we got a lot of new people. This is cool. I hope you all enjoy it. So what we can do is make a second one of these cubes. And then let's move it out of the way just a bit. And then also make it bigger once on each of these axes. And then we'll rotate it around a bit. Here we go. Oh no. Okay, let's put the pivot tool into the center of this thing. So I think if we go up like 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see you here, Calm Guy. And then maybe make it look like a bunch of end crystals clumped together. I was thinking of just like one kind of simpler end crystal. Because it's not actually going to be an end crystal. Dude, Creator's literally the best song ever added to Minecraft. Hands down. I literally love this song so much. Okay, so I think that's what we want. So now if we go into paint, right, we can generate a new texture. We'll call it Comet Texture. And then we're actually going to straight up erase the majority of the bigger one. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking how this is gonna look. I have the utmost precision here. All right, here we go. Now that looks freaking awesome. I'm excited for this. Yeah, no, Pigstep was really fire until Creator blew it out of the water. I don't know, man. It beats area math for me. I actually prefer Mice on Venus. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't matter which way I orient it. Actually. It looks a bit better. So the comet's use is when you hit it, it will be sent flying in the direction you hit it, and will deal damage and like explode in a small radius, proportional to the damage that you hit it with. So if you hit it with your fist, it'll move really slow, it'll do barely any damage and like explode like nothing. But if you hit it with a great sword or something, oh yeah, the outer cube is definitely gonna spin. So will the inner one. But if you hit it like with a great sword or something, it'll move faster and deal more damage. And it's partially inspired by like the final boss fights from Legend of Zelda. I don't know if anyone here has played that, but like when you're fighting Ganon, he'll like shoot a energy ball at you, and you gotta play ping pong with it until it hits one of you. All right, so let's start with texturing this one. I think we'll take like, whoop, that was not intended. Here we go. Take like an off-white into a blue kind of thing here. And then we'll take paint bucket and just slather it all over here. And then let's go ahead and texture it with some outer edges here. And then add a small variance. Oh, that was way too much. Too strong. And then one more maybe. That looks good. And then let's go back here and then add a variance in the opposite direction. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and... That's way too big. How do I... How do I use this thing? I'll just use the selection tool. Here we go. There we go, that looks good to me. I'm not gonna make it look like an eyeball. It's supposed to be a comet. Okay, so here we go. And then we'll start with... What should the outside be? Well, let's start with like a very bright white. Because white does seem a bit fitting. And then maybe some like darker blue accents all throughout the outer edge here. I don't know about golden. I mean, comets aren't traditionally golden. Okay, yeah, if I make those like fade in and out, that would actually look really cool. Let's actually put a couple in the corners here. And then... Yeah, the pure white is glaring, but it is supposed to be bright. I might make it a bit darker, though. Okay. So now we'll take like this one. Actually, let's make this a lot bigger. This will be way easier to edit right here. So we can just take this. Yeah, something actually tells me. Whoop. We'll replace those two. And then if I can make the inside glow, I definitely would. I don't really know exactly how to do that though. I know something about a glow mask can do it, but I'm not sure how it works. Okay. And then let's have that one extend 2 from each. And then there we go. Now that looks pretty cool. Dude, I've never played Celeste before. I've heard it's pretty good though. We should probably rename this one to Outer and Inner. Okay, now we can give it an animation. So we will start. We'll just call this idle and loop. Bring up the timeline. Oh. Group. Rename. Enter. And then add a group. Rename. Outer. All right, here we go. And then we'll also add another one and rename this to full. Okay, so now if we animate this, we can start with the inner here. So it'll only be dealing with rotation, and then let's have it loop every 4 seconds. And now let's just give it some, whoa. Okay, let's go edit its pivot point real quick. There we go. Just give it some crazy rotation here. Alright, and then another one there. Oh, that was too similar, I think. Alright, good, good. And then one more. There we go. Okay. Lighten the darkest colors a little? Maybe, yeah. I'll do that after I finish the animation. What? I thought I fixed its pivot point. Oh. There we go. Oh. There we go. Thank you, Echolotl. Alright, so here we go. Now we're back in 1, and then give it some fancy rotations. Looks like I just need to really rotate it much more. And then it may look a little janky every time it hits one of these second marks, but I have something that'll actually make it look really cool every time that happens. A small secret up my sleeve. Alright, so currently this is the looping animation. I think I should rotate this one just a bit more. There we go. All right, now I was actually gonna try something else to give it even more a little bit more of a flair. So if we take the position here, we can make it like jitter a bit, and it'll help like justify the weird rotation. So we're gonna set that to like right there, and then let's add another position keyframe here. Really? I think that looks really good, if I'm being honest. Oh, dang, that doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Whoa. This is a comet. It's for an enchantment. Does K add a keyframe? No. Yeah, I don't know keybinds. Whoops. I don't want rotation. Okay, position. 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 Okay, here we go. And now let's go ahead and that should be 0. Alright, and then the last one we're going to add here is a little bit trickier, but we can add it like this. And let's start by doing that. And then we can add the last 3 here. I think this one looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have comets. This is gonna be really cool. I don't know, I think the sudden movement is better because it's supposed to be like an unstable kind of containment. I mean, you're not really supposed to have a comet in your hands. But I do like the idea of it slowly changing in scale. So what we can have is there, have it grow all the way up to that. And then go back to normal over here. And then how long of not being handled? I don't know. Probably like a full minute or something. I like the idea of spreading these around the battlefield. As another animation, maybe. And then... yeah, I think this is good. So what we can do is... just save both of these. Save project as, yeah, comment.b. Oh, the full armor set looks amazing. I think you did a great job on it. Alright, so the next step is to figure out how to implement the entity, which I don't remember how to do, so... entity 1.20.1 Forge Halpin Joe.
Let's do it. Let's add a custom mob to Minecraft. New topic.
So
the walking animation. It's we want to extend this from a hierarch. Need the other thing, the Rhino model, we can actually copy over so to Java. And in this case, it's not actually that bad. So first of all, in our tutorial mod package, we're going to make an entity package. And inside of there, we're going to make a new class called the mod entities class. So this is going to...
okay, so we need to make a new Java package here. And then this is just going to be the entity package. And then inside here, we need a new Java class mod entities.
Going to be the class that is of course responsible for actually registering our entity. And inside of this entity package, we're going to make a couple more packages because, well, we're just going to need those.
We'll also need the assets one, so then we'll need a new package animations, and then
we're going to have client, and we will also have, just because I like to do that, a custom one where all of the actual classes go, not the custo, but the custom. There you go.
So, and then client and custom. Here we go. The trailer videos are about factions. If you want to join a faction, those are the videos they watch. They put those together to try and like pitch their faction to you. There's one faction video I think is pretty good. It's for no reason in particular, I would recommend checking out the Serpent's Conclave. No reason at all. I'm just saying that one's pretty cool. Anyway, back to coding. No more propaganda.
And there we go. So in the custom package, I'm going to make the Rhino entity class. There you go.
All right. So in custom, we need to make the Comet entity class.
And we can also, in the client, already make a couple of other classes. That's going to be the mod model layers class. So basically just creating all of the classes.
Okay, and then in client, we need the mod model layers class. And then
we also want the Rhino renderer. That's quite important. And in the animations, we can make the mod animation definitions class. And I believe that that's...
right? Yeah. Rhino, Comet renderer. And then in animations... wow, this is weirdly complicated. So, mod animation... definitions. Wow. This takes so many. My stream starts at 6 a.m. Wow. Your skills aren't useless. I don't know what to say. Like, even if they were not refined just yet, the Serpent's Conclave has the best people in every subset. If you want to be a warrior, we have the best PvPers. If you want to be an engineer, we have the best engineers. If you want to be the builder, well, that's subjective, but I think we have the best builders. So if you want to learn how to play the game, Serpent's Conclave is also the best option for you. Anyway,
is everything that we were going to need. The
what
other
do we
thing,
need
the Rhino
now?
model, we can actually copy over. So that's going to be the Java file that we've exported. We're just going to copy this over. Now this is going to be, well, as you can clearly see, it's going to have a whole host of errors. Don't worry at all. What we basically want to do is the following. First of all, you can see here that the class name is basically always the name that the...
Alright, so the first thing we want to do here is file export Java entity, and then what is this file? Is it in documents? Okay. Yeah, comment.java. So next, we want to go into files. No, not that mods folder. We want to go into documents, mods, mod library, entities, and then I put it in models, I think. Yeah, comment.java. And then we put that in client, I think it was. Right? Yeah.
Clearly see it's going to have a whole host of errors. Don't worry at all. What we basically want to do
So
is
it
the
has a
following.
million errors.
First of all, you can see here that the class
And
name
then-
is basically always the name that the Blockbench file had, right? So for some reason, somewhere in the Blockbench file, it is called Rhino-Vanilla. So I'm just going to change the name here to Rhino Model. This will make it so that the name of the file matches now the name of the class right here.
Okay, so I want to refactor, rename, change this to Comet Model. Is luck a skill? You know what? It's luck. Luck is skill enough for the Serpent's Conclave. And you know, Mega B, you would have the edge on us. You could have the edge on us for engineers if they did, like, I don't know, make an ICBM. And I don't know about you, but I haven't seen any intercontinental ballistic missiles coming from the Bastion, so...
And we want to do the same thing right here in the public constructor. That's very important. So this is going to be the Rhino model. And all of a sudden, that's going to be the first step. The second
Alright.
step is basically go to all of the red words and make sure to import the correct things. So in this case, of course, the entity is from Net Minecraft World Entity. You want to import the model over here. The model layer, interestingly enough, we actually want to delete that because we're going to...
Okay, and then we want to import this, import that.
be doing that in the other class. The model part, similar thing, Alt and Enter to import, Alt and Enter to import, and you basically go through each of those and Alt and Enter import on all of the different classes that are not active.
Okay, so we just import everything. Wow. There we go.
Actually added just yet cube deformation. You just continue to go similar down here, the post stack as well as the vertex consumer. And once everything is imported, in theory, everything should be fine and you should have no more errors present. Now there is,
Perfect.
however, a thing, and we want to change that thing. And that is, right now we're just using an entity model. However, we want to extend this from a hierarchical model. Reason being is because then making the animations, setting up the animations is much easier and I think just possible at all. So we then...
Okay, so we actually want this to be a hierarchical model. Am I spelling that wrong? Yes, I am. There. Why doesn't it like that? Whoa, I'm gonna wait to see what he
hover
does.
over this, implement the methods, that is the root method, and that is as easy as just returning...
Oh, okay. Implement methods. Okay, there. All it does is do that.
the Rhino field over here. That is as easy as doing that.
And then... I don't think it does comment. I think it wants whole. Yeah.
I also want to get the head, so that's going to be a private final model part. I'm going to call this the head
Okay,
right
now
here.
he
And
declares
inside
the
of
head, but that's
constructor,
obviously not
I'm just
important.
going to say this.head is equal to the rhino.getChild body, and then I'm going to get the child of that, which is going to be the...
I mean, sure. You don't need intercontinental ballistic missiles, but they're really cool. Oh, you joined the server through a link in like any of my videos. Obviously not the stream. I should probably include that. But yeah, if you look at my channel, any of my videos will have that. But like I could probably just pull one up for you right now. Give me 1 second. There you go. Orbital railgun they're definitely something the Serpent's Conclave will also be building. And yeah, if we get computer craft, intercontinental ballistic missiles will definitely be possible, although a little unnecessary. Alright, so...
torso, and then we're going to get the child of that, and that is going to be the head. Now you might ask yourself, how did I know that this is the way to go? Well, if we once again go back to our Blockbench file, right, you can see the first group right here is the rhino, and then we get the body, and then we get the torso, and under the torso we have the head, and this is the head. And in theory, if I move the entire group of the head, you can see this is exactly the group that I want to have happen, that I want to move. For example, if the rhino turns its head, right, you can see it turns its entire head instead of, like, you know, just the ears, for example. We will be coming back to this, which is a reason why I'm going to make a deliberate error right here, just so that I'm not going to forget that we actually need to still set up the animations. We're going to do that in a moment because we actually need a few things for those in the actual entity. This is once again one of those tutorials where we'll go through the same classes multiple times because that's just how it's going to be, sadly, but that is okay.
So what is ClickUp? ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity software where you can manage everything and any.
And now
All
we
right,
can actually
so-
do the actual Rhino itself. So there's going to be the Rhino entity class right
Calvin
here,
Joe's
which will
rambling
extend
on.
the animal class. And that is basically everything we need. So we're going to implement the get breed offspring method, and we're going to hover over this again, create constructor matching super, making sure we make this public. That's extremely important, right? So don't forget
If you
that.
want to be alone,
And
that's
then we
also
can-
fine. I mean, if you want to be protected, the Serpent's Conclave does offer citizenship, to which you will, you'll receive full protection from us. And you'll also get to live in the northern tundra with us. Otherwise, we don't like you being up there.
Well,
All right,
basically
let's see.
adding
Where's Calvin Joe going
things.
now?
So in theory, the entity itself is already done. Now, the first thing I want to basically
So client, comment model. Oh wait, no, comment entity. So what the heck did he just do?
not going to forget that we actually need to still set up the animations. We're going to do that in a moment because we actually need a few things for those in the actual entity. This is once again one of those tutorials where we'll go through the same classes multiple times because that's just how it's going to be, sadly. But that is okay. And now we can actually do the actual Rhino itself. So there's going to be the Rhino entity class right here, which will extend the animal class. And
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we need to extend the class. I don't want to say hostile. Minecraft.world. Okay. Let's see if we can see what options are available to us here. Minecraft.world. Do I need to import that? Okay. Let's go ahead and just write this out here. Import net dot Minecraft dot world dot entity dot So this is where you'll find animal, right? Okay, so you have ambient, animal, boss, decoration, item, monster, NPC, projectile. That's what we want. And then I don't think projectile is another. So we probably want to extend fireball, since that's what is most similar. So extends fireball, and then it needs a constructor matches super. There we go. Yeah, I mean, the server's not actually released yet. Obviously, it's still in dev. I'm making the mod. But if you want to steal things, the bug faction is probably your best bet. But they also have some, like, restrictions for being, like, primitive and stuff. So, if you want to limit your playstyle for the sake of stealing, the bug faction is probably the best bet you have. The stealing bug faction, obviously. The other one actually isn't official yet. You're welcome, Oraball.
That is basically everything we need. So we're going to implement the get breed offspring method, and we're going to hover over this again, create constructor matching super, making sure we make this public. That's extremely important, right? So don't forget that. And then we can, well, basically add a few different things. So in theory, the entity itself is already done. Now, the first thing I want to basically, well, not necessarily caution you against, but sort of explain to you is what you can do in the animal. For example, you can middle mouse button click, and you can see everything that the animal class has, right? Like once it
Oh my god! Look at that! That's awesome! I didn't know you could do that. Dang. That's cool. What did I just do? Oh. Okay. So I think this might work. I'm not super
again,
sure.
you can go into the vanilla classes, and it is so extremely important that you do this to understand how, you know, entities work, how they work together and stuff like that. So what I can basically suggest to you is you click on the animal, you press Control H, right? And you can go up all the way to animal. You can press Control H again. And if I expand this, you can see these are all of the entities, like all of the mobs and all of the like abstract entities, right? So you also have things like the fireball or the dragon fireball and things like that. But everything here is basically available to you if you go into the living entity, right? That is basically all of the different mobs that you are familiar with, right? A ghast, a phantom, you know, different monsters, blazes, spiders, you have zombies, you have different types of zombies. Like, I cannot recommend enough going through these classes to try and understand, okay, as a Minecraft player, hey, I know how like a chicken behaves, stuff like that. Go in there and take a look at it. You might be like, oh, that is craziness, like that's so much stuff in here, right? But that goes back to, once again, having some Java knowledge, feeling confident that you understand what this means, because entities get quite complicated quite quickly, and that is why the best, basically one of the best things to take a look at are, well, vanilla entities. And with those, you can already make, I mean, almost anything from vanilla. Once again, if you have enough Java knowledge, that should suffice to basically recreate a lot of stuff.
Oh, shut up, Ab.
Right, for an entity, we also need two things that are very, very important. The first thing is a public static attribute supplier dot.
Okay, so we need an attribute supplier. Oh, this might be difficult, actually. Oh, there we go. Okay, it just showed me the fireball.java class. Okay. So what we want is the public static attribute supplier dot builder,
and that's going to be the create attributes. This is extremely important. We definitely need this.
Okay, create attributes. Oop.
And this is going to return animal dot create living attributes, and then we're going to add some attributes to it. So for example, we can say attributes dot.
Okay, and then turn fireball dot maybe it was projectile? No. I don't think attribute applies here, so I actually just won't bother making that.
Max health. And the max health for the elephant or for the rhino, for example, could be 20D, for example, right? Or we can then also add another one.
See, I would use ad block, but YouTube made me not do that. From my videos, is there any specific time in which you receive more views on your videos than the rest of the day? Actually, I can look at that. It's pretty consistent, but... Oh, where do I look at that? I think it was in analytics. Audience. Most of you are online at noon on the weekends. For me, EST. Or GMT? I don't know what GMT is. Why do you ask? Okay, hold on. Calm guy. If you want me to make a counter argument, then what exactly are you looking for in the server? What would you like? Oh, timing doesn't matter. You'll still get all of it. What content? Like I'm playing on the server. What's your goal? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Tell me that.
Movement speed, and that might be attack, not important thing, and you cannot forget to add the attributes, otherwise spawning your entity is not going to work. And the other thing we want is we want to override the register goals method, and that is that's a rabbit hole that could pro 1 before 2 and so on and so forth. Might want, and that water avoid random stroll enough looking at the goals.
Okay, so I think what I want to do is Control H that. And then in here, I can look at the projectile Java class and see, does it register attributes? It's got owner stuff. But yeah, it doesn't check for any of that. So I don't have to worry about registering those.
You can even middle mouse button click on the goal. You can see that the goal class, the follow range right here of mark is going to be the entity underscore types equal to a deferred register.create forge registries that entity types tutorial mod.mod. You know.
All right. So next step. Chaos yet still calm. Well, that is still definitely the vibe of the Serpent's Conclave. I would seriously consider us, because although I guess it does depend on what you mean by chaos. Like, if it's you want to do what you kind of want to do, but like not exactly without boundaries. Kind of like an organized chaos kind of thing. Yes, Rady, we are not evil. We aren't evil at all, whatsoever. We actually spread freedom and democracy across the galaxy. And and I think it'll definitely... What do you mean, sure? I'll show you the power of liberty. We do not have... Well, we have cannons. Does cannons sound good? There's not actual, like, guns, but we do have cannons. We're pretty big on those. Alright, so... Next thing we're going to want to do is go into modentities.java and go public static final deferred register entity type import class, and then entity types equals deferred register dot create forge registries dot entity types. Oh wait. No, what am I again? I'm ICV.modID. There we go. Fish react me, how dare you? I ain't enslaving anyone on a contract. Although, contracts are pretty cool. I'm no far-off leader. I'm right here. I'm interacting with everyone. Oh, you could join my faction. It won't affect your news. What do you mean, if I aren't already?
Nothing crazy at this point.
Okay,
should be
so
fairly self-explanatory. A public static void register
next thing,
with an
public
event
static
bus,
void
event bus,
register.
call in.
Okay, well, I'm gonna focus harder on the coding, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the Serpent's Conclave, we're not evil whatsoever. We don't get up to any evil business. We don't make people sell their souls to us. We do not go out and conquer people. We spread freedom and liberty and justice and democracy across the Veil's End, and that's all you need to know. I think it suits your playstyle perfectly. And you know what? If you join us, you're not evil in any way whatsoever. So I think you should join us. True, Rady. You do have a great point.
Entity types that register, passing in the event bus right here, and let's immediately call this.
If you want to spread freedom and democracy with us, let us know, okay? We'll let you in with open arms. I'll let you talk with all of the other serpents. Oh, and that's perfect! Because we'll actually spread liberty and democracy to the bugs. Through explosive ordnance. Serpent's Conclave sounds like a perfect fit for you. Anyway, back to coding. So it looks like the next thing Kelp and Joe here does is do public static void register, passes in an I event bus, and then entity types dot register event bus.
In the tutorial mod class over here we go, mod entities dot register, and then passing in the mod event bus. And now to
And then we need to go back in here. So, mod entities dot register, and then we type in mod event. No. Oh, I passed that in again.
should be fairly self-explanatory. A public static, the event bus right here, and let's immediately call this in the tutorial mod class over here. Here we go, mod entities dot register, and then passing in the mod.
Oh, that's not capitalized. Mod event bus. There we go.
Event bus.
So
And
now what?
To registering the actual entity. This is a public static final or registry object
Public static final.
of type entity type.
Registry object. Where was I? Mod entities right here. And then
Of type Rhino entity, and it's going to be the Rhino, equal to entity types dot register. The first name, the first parameter is the Rhino, the name, and
alright, so back over here. We want to do public static final registry object entity type and then that's Comet entity. You know, Calm Guy, we'll actually have a huge coliseum for settling issues. We'll call it the Snake Pit, and that's where there will be fistfights.
and then
Alright,
a
so back
supplier
over here.
of entity type dot builder dot of, passing in Rhino entity colon new comma mob category dot, and this would be the, let's do creature, after the first colon in parentheses dot sized, and here we can give a size. I'm going to put in a 2.5 f and a 2.5 f. So the size right here is going to be the actual hitbox of the Rhino, and then a build and passing in the Rhino right here, and no errors should be present in theory, and that is going to be the Rhino registered.
Okay, so next thing. Alright. Comet equals entity types dot register, and the name will be Comet. And then we need to give it the supplier of entity type dot builder dot of, and that will be Comet entity colon new, and then mob category dot miscellaneous. And then for the hitbox dot sized, we'll give it 1 1 and then dot build comet. Okay, what isn't it like? Inferred type I for type I what? Okay, I think I missed something. Entity types dot register. Okay, so what if I change this to whole? Entity types dot register, and then passes in entity type dot builder dot of comet entity new mob category. What does it mean? Oh. There we go. That was the problem. All right, and then we can change these back to comet.
Awesome.
All right. Oh, calm guy, you're not useless.
To me, coding is this feeling of
Everyone
balance
has
between you and the
value.
computer. You have the creativity.
And now we can actually
If you didn't, people wouldn't be fighting over you.
also refer to this Rhino over here, which makes us able to, well, create an offspring, for example. So this would be the thing that we need to call in order to spawn a baby. So this would be, if we were to breed the rhinos over here, that would be
Okay,
done right here.
so-
So for example, we could say mod entities dot
Just
rhino
going through the
dot
goals,
just
which
the rhino
I
underscore
don't
layer,
care
and
about.
this equals to a new model layer location. Give them that. I'm just saying. Right, and round we go, because now we're moving to the model layers. Now the model
Okay,
layers
model
is
layers.
a special kind
This is where
of
we
class,
want.
let's say. Basically, we're just going to have a reference right here to a model layer location.
Okay, so model layers. And here we go public static final model layer location.
Call this the rhino underscore layer, and this is equal to a new model layer location. This is a new resource location, tutorial mod.mod ID, and then this is going to be the rhino underscore layer, and then the layer here you can do main, or I think you can almost call it whatever you would like. There you go.
Okay, so model layer location, and then we'll call this comet layer equals new model layer location, new resource location, ICV.mod ID, and then call this comet layer, and then main.
This is after the first closing parenthesis. There you go. So that is basically how.
Oh, this one needs a parenthesis, and then a semicolon here. Hey man, if you're looking for a therapist, believe it or not, I'm probably your best bet. Okay, so...
This is set up now. Why do we need this? Well, basically the layers are more or less sort of a combination of a texture on the model, let's say. Like that's a very, like, it's a very crude way of explaining it, but that is sort of what the layer is. You can have multiple layers, so then you can have multiple different models added together, for example, as well. In our case, we only have one model, we only have one layer. We're not going to get too complicated with this, but both the model as well as a couple of other things need to be registered with an event. Now, this is extremely important again, because sadly, almost all of it is extremely important. We cannot do this in the mod events class. We have to make a new class for this. And this is going to be the mod event bus events. So we haven't talked about events in detail.
My
What
God.
I'm going to do in this.
We have to make another class. Why doesn't this like this? Oh, that's probably why. Alright, so... What the heck? Okay, so... Let's just hide both of those for now. Let's go in here, make a new package event, and then we make a new Java class mod event bus events.
This tutorial series. However, there are 2 different types of events. In theory, there are 4 different types of events, but let's just think about it like this. These events, right, are full Forge events.
All right,
Let's say
let me
if I
see.
middle mouse button click on this, it usually says Minecraft Forge event bus. That means that it is a Forge event, and that if you add the event bus subscriber over here, that's it. On the mod bus events, you want to do add mod, event bus subscriber. Similar mod ID, right? Tutorial mod ID. But then you want to say bus is equal to the mod bus right here. You can see there's Forge and then there's the mod bus. And that is basically all that there's different for it. You can discover which events are there. I'm going to show this. So this could be the register layers. This is the register layer definitions event or event. And we're just going to call event.register layer definitions model layers.rhino layer, and then rhino model dot create body layer. Actually, it's colon, and then without that, there you go. And of course, also add subscribe event. Extremely important that we don't forget that. Now you might say, well, how do I know that there's an event that is the mod bus or not the mod?
Okay, so we gotta make this class right here. First, we're gonna have to do at mod dot event bus subscriber import class mod ID equals ICV dot mod ID bus equals mod dot event bus subscriber dot bus dot mod. Zinth is the leader of Nocturne. Hey, you don't need a therapist if you're part of the Serpent's Conclave. And you know what? As like another selling point, statistically, The serpents have the most bitches. So that gives us the legal right to say that if you join the serpents, you get bitches.
Your middle mouse button, click on the event. You can see this extends the Entity Renderers event. And the Entity Renderers event, you can see it implements the iModBus event, which basically means, hey, this is
Oh,
a
wait, shit.
renderers event. Model layers dot Rhino layer, and then Rhino model dot create body layer. Actually, it's colon. And then without that, there you go. And of course, also add subscribe event. Extremely important that we don't forget.
Okay, so now what we need to do is at subscribe. Oh wait, that needs to be at subscribe event. You guys should do that. Subscribing is cool. Public static void register layer, and then in here entity renderer event dot register layer definitions event. Then in here event dot register layer definitions model layers dot comet layer comet model create body layer.
Forget that. Now you might say, well, how do I know that there's an event that is the Modbus or not the Modbus? It's
Okay,
quite
and then he talks
crazy
about
over
all
here, but
this.
that is sadly how it's going to be. The other one, in this case, does not have the client. This is going to have this one. This is going to be normal, and that is going to be the attributes. This is going to be public static
What?
void register attributes, and this is the entity attribute creation event. Very important that we choose the right one. Event.put mod entities.rhino.
Wow, I'm
get
so
that
confused
up
now.
now. Why do we need this? Well, basically the layers are in detail. We're not going to do in this tutorial series. However, there are two different types of events here. That's it. It's different for it. You can discover which events are there. I'm going to show this. There's going to be model layers Rhino, the Modbus or not the Modbus. Your middle mouse button, click on the event. You can see this extends the
All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna focus like really hard on this. Man, you guys are going nuts on the advertising in the chat. Fine by me though. That's like some killer engagement.
the renderers event and the entity renderers event. You can see it implements the iModBus event, which basically means, hey, this is a Modbus event, so this needs the Modbus right here. That's pretty much all that there is to it. Now we can even actually go a step further, and that is when you look at it, it says that it only fires on the logical client, right? So that pretty much means that you can even, in the event bus over here, we can even add a value right here, and the value here would be this.client, because this should only ever be on the client. So there you go. So that's going to be fine. And you know what? Then we can actually rename this to the mod event bus client events, because we're going to have another one which actually will need to...
Okay, so that's what happened. So equals for we need to say value equals dis dot client. And then we shift F6 this to mod event bus client events.
To be the mod event bus events over here. Let's just create another class. I know that this is quite crazy over here, but that is sadly how it's going to be.
Okay, and now we need to make a new event with the name of the previous one, mod event bus events. And then we go back in here and just copy this whole thing. And then...
Other one, in this case, does not have the client. This is going to have this one.
Oh yeah, and then this one doesn't have the client.
This is going to be normal, and that is going to be the attributes. This is going to be public static void.
Wait, this is just the
register
attributes?
And this is the entity attribute creation event. Very important that we choose the right one. Event.put mod entities.rhino.get and then a rhino entity.create attributes.build. And once again, let's not forget the add subscribe event, otherwise this is not going to function. And there you go. So those are the two new classes. Now, as always, of course, all of the code is available to you in the description below. So we have the model layers, we have entities.rhino.get and then a rhino entity.create attributes.build. And once again, let's not forget the add subscribe event, otherwise this is not going to function. And there you go. So those are the two new classes. Now, as always, of course, all of the code is available to you in the description below. So we have the model layers. We basically have the model now registered properly, and we can now move on to the renderer.
Do you need more power, more control? Then you need VPS hosting from Hosting.
So the renderer is basically, well, how this is being rendered. So this will extends the mob renderer of type.
Okay. I think we're almost done. So if we go into Comet Renderer, it extends mob renderer. And then
Type Rhino entity of type Rhino model, there you go, of type Rhino entity. Now this is not a...
okay, so then in here, you want to say Rhino, oh wait, not Rhino, that's his. Comet entity of type Comet model of the type Comet entity.
crazy thing, then I don't know what is, but we can just hover over this, implement the get texture location.
Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Now let's see.
Method, create a constructor matching soup.
So we want to implement methods and then create constructor matching super.
And for the constructor, you just want to leave the first parameter. You want to just delete the second and the third. And here, you just want to say new Rhino.
Okay, so we want to delete everything after context here. And then instead of p model, we say new Comet model.
Model, passing in p context.bake layer. We now can use the model layers that we've just created and that we've just registered.
Okay, and then we do p context dot bake layer model layers dot Rhino layer. Oh wait, that's again not Comet layer. And then
with the Rhino layer, and then here for the shadow, we can just do like a 2 shadow rate.
And then shadow, we're not gonna have a shadow, so let's just call it 0.
and that's going to be okay. For the texture location, we can just return a new resource location. That's going to be tutorial mod.modid and then textures / entity / rhino.png, and there we go. And we can
Okay, so we need to change this right here to new resource location. And this will be ICV dot mod ID and then this will be textures / entity / comet.png. And then
we can also add this. This is the
in resources, we need to make a new directory of assets. And then in there, I
PNG
think
that we have exported from Blockbench, of course. This is going to be under the entity, and then that's going to be the Rhino PNG. There you go.
yeah, and under assets, we need to make a new one, which will be ICV and then this will be under textures. And then under textures, we can have entity. And then back in Blockbench, we can save this as comet texture.png. And then take this, put this in here. There.
This is, of course, also going to be available to you. And now one very interesting thing, and that is the render method. So we can override the render method, make sure that the super...
All right, so now we need to override the render method.
still
Which
being called here at the
means-
bottom. And then what we can do is we can size this up differently. So for example, we can say if p_entity dot is baby, we can say, you know what, now I actually want this to be, well, differently sized. So we can say scale it down to, let's say, like 50% its normal size. Make sure to scale it in 50% in all X, Y, and Z directions. Otherwise, you're going to have a very, very strange baby. With the renderer done, we can now connect the renderer and the model, because you can see the renderer right now is not used anywhere. And this is being done in the tutorial mod class down here in the client mod events. Now, in theory, you can add this FML client setup event also to the Modbus right here, but let's not get too technical over here. Let's just add it here, and then should be fine. This is gonna be the entity renderers dot register, passing in mod entity.
Okay, so back in ICV here, we need to go down to, wait, what? Oh, I'm so confused.
With the renderer done, we can now connect the renderer and the model, because you can see the renderer right now is not used anywhere. And this is being done in the tutorial mod class down here in the client mod events. Now, in theory...
Okay, yeah, it's right here.
You can add this FML client setup event also to the Modbus right here, but let's not get too technical over here. Let's just add it here, and then should be fine. This is gonna be the entity renderers dot register.
And then, okay, so now we do entity renderers dot register, right?
Passing in mod entities dot rhino dot get, and then the rhino renderer : new.
Okay, register mod entities dot comet dot get, and then comet renderer : new.
No errors should be present. If there are any, make sure that it is public, and make sure that the Rhino renderer only has the context here in the constructor. Otherwise, you have forgotten to delete the other two parameters. Right, let's just make sure that there is no error in the model here just for a second. And in theory, now our Rhino is added to the game, and it should work without an issue. And I think we're going to try it right now. So this is going to be an end.
All right, now in theory, we should be able to summon it. What do you mean you don't have a section in the server member list? Oh no! Yeah, what does that mean? Oh boy. Well, this is gonna suck. Well, let's... Alright, what does it say?
Still like a 8-hour lecture. The duplicated example, the follow range is needed for a deferred register.create, all entity types.register, and then a Rhino registered. Awesome. You can just model layers. Now, the model layers is a special kind of class, let's say. Basically, we're just going to have a more or less sort of as well as a couple of 4 different types
Rhino
drive event extremely important. Okay, this is a only ever be on the client, so the event bus event, and that is going to be the attribute create subscribe event renderer. So the renderer is basically a model, there you go, of type Rhino entity. Now this is not a crazy thing, and I don't know.
Okay. So far it all looks good.
What is, but we can just hover over this, implement the get texture location method, create a constructor matching super, and for the constructor, you just want to leave model layers that / entity / rhino dot
public comet renderer context new comet model context big butter layer model layers dot comet layer. What if I made that 1? Does that fix it? Doesn't look like it.
PNG, and there we go.
Well, maybe there's something wrong in comet entity here. T extends mob to declared. Comment entities not within bounds of type variable public class. Comment renderer extends mob renderer comment.
And we can also add this. This is the Rhino PNG that we have. Now, the first thing I want to basically, well, not necessarily caution you against, but
Okay, so maybe it's an issue in here.
sort of explain to you is what you can do in the animal. For example, you can middle mouse button click and you can see everything that the animal, different monsters blaze. You might be like, oh, that is craziness. Get quite complicated quite quickly, and that is why the best, basically one of the best things to take a look at are, well, vanilla entities. And with those, you can already make, I mean, almost anything from vanilla. This is extremely important. We definitely need this. And this is going to return animal.create living attributes. And then we're going to add some attributes to it. So for example, we can say attributes.max health. And the max health for the...
Okay, so maybe it wants an attribute supplier? Let's see what that does. Public static. What? Oh, it's capital. Public static attribute supplier dot builder create attributes. Turn projectile dot no, because that didn't work. Fireball dot. Okay, so let's just try animal dot create living attributes dot add attributes dot max health 1. I don't think that fixed it. What? Okay. Oh. It's because I'm not doing a living entity. Um... Projectile render. That work? Okay, and it only wants one, so maybe it's that one. Alright, let's see if that works. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Wanderers, Library, or Dwarven Guild. Primitives don't have a list on the side. What do you mean? Oh, they don't? Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, okay, I'll turn on their display role members separately then. Alright, let's hope this works. If it's a projectile, it might just sink to the ground instantly. I might have to, like... Okay, slash summon. ICV Comet, fingers crossed. Looks like it doesn't render. Hey, you, stand still. Yeah, so that doesn't work. So maybe... I'm so confused. Okay. So... Yeah, it was. It's not rendering itself. It also is on fire, which I don't really want. where do... What's the... Oh, back to comment renderer. Let's go back into the comment renderer. Comment entity. Yeah. I have no idea what the problem here is.
Which
Hi, we're Visible.
Ah.
We're a wireless company with nothing to hide. Seriously, hidden fees? We don't have them.
is a reason why I'm going to make a deliberate, and that is basically everything we need. So animal, for example, you can middle mouse button click and you can see everything that the animal, you press Control H, select entities, right? So are familiar with, right? A gas, the fan, understand, okay, as a mic, there's so much stuff in here, right? But understand what this means from vanilla. Once again, if you have enough Java knowledge, that should suffice to basically recreate a lot of stuff.
That's everything.
And then we're gonna add some attributes to it. Health, and the max health points to
Attributes.
Rhino, right? That you can basically, he is not going. Still like a not add.
Goals,
When
we
your
don't need
entity is in one
those.
eager to, then we can, for example, have that cooked beef.
I mean,
for
the
example,
behavior
and then
does
can
work,
just copy-
it just
well,
doesn't
we have here
render
goal,
it.
F, yeah, and then you can look at the different register goals. So, for example, the T, and yes, Java for that is good. Maybe the how we can register it for types, or entity types that register, passing in the event bus right here, and let's immediately actual entity. This is a public static final or registry object of type entity type of type Rhino entity, and it's going to be the Rhino, equal to entity types dot register. The first name, the first parameter is the Rhino. The category dot and the Rhino right here, the baby. So this would be, if we were to breed the rhinos over here, that would be done.
Let's go into the comment model. Maybe there's something wrong in there.
Done right here. So for example, slash entity slash, this is going to be an entity that.
All right, agree with client and start time tracking. Great. So for Q4, I was thinking.
What
we
are you
should-
doing?
Oh, we needed a whiteboard wall. We got this really.
So that's going to be tutorial mod.rhino, and we'll see. And there we go. We have the Rhino added over. Make sure that there is no error in the model here just for a second. And in theory, now our Rhino is added to the game, and then the Rhino renderer : new. No errors should be present in the client mod events. Now, in theory, you can add this FML client setup event also to the Modbus right here, but let's not get too technical over here. Let's just add it here, and then should be fine. This is going to be the entity renderers dot register, passing in mod entities dot rhino dot get.
Well, this definitely complicates things. See, I feel like that should be But projectiles do have a renderer, don't they? there. It does. Right, a comet model is not within its bound. Should extend entity. Maybe it's supposed to be entity model. And then back in here. What the fuck? Maybe. I am so confused. What on earth? Yeah, no, bros, it is so over. I don't even know. What on earth?
Attribute supplier dot builder, and that's going to be start move in a moment, as well as the vertex consumer. And once everything is imported, in theory, everything should be fine and you should have no more errors present. Now there is, however, a thing, and we want to change that thing, and that is right now we're just using an entity model. However, we want to extend this from a hierarchical model. Reason being is because then making the animations, setting up the animations is much easier, and I think just possible at all. So we then hover over this, implement the methods, that is the root method, and that is as easy as just returning the Rhino field over here. That is as easy as doing that. I also want to get the head, so that's going to be a private.
Huh? Oh, there we go. Okay. So it doesn't like this anymore. It doesn't like this. see. Already defined. Oh. Are you kidding me? Okay.
Final were to breed the rhino, but both the model as well as a couple of other things need to be registered with an event. Mod ID, mouse button, click on the event, you can untick vote. We can now the thing, and I don't know what is, but we can just hover over this, implement the get texture location created, and that we've just registered. Text PNG, they we can slice. Make sure with the this is gonna be the entity renderers dot register, passing in mod entities dot.
Name. Okay, so this is exactly what it should be. Builder of comment entity new website so why doesn't that work? It's exactly what he has. Okay, so it has to be in Comet Renderer. Because that's when things went wrong. Wow, why is this so painful? just had to be public. Okay. So it's nothing to do with the capital letters. It has to do with what I'm extending from my comet entity. So projectile doesn't work. Extends. Maybe shulker bullet. You know what? Projectile Halpin Joe. Extends entity, implements traceable entity. Maybe that's what I want. Okay. Lightning Bolt is an entity. Oh man. So where on earth? Oh, this is interesting. Oh. So let's just go with what's most similar? Because it looks like entity renderers at the end. Maybe just end crystal renderer, and then yeah, obviously. Oh, what? That's strange. Two, acquire one. So let's. Yeah, and then you think you need to implement the methods. So you need to change this to what entity? No. About Comet model. There we go. Okay, and then should extend abstract arrow and implement your methods. Constructor matching super. Vector comet renderer. Let's delete that and then create constructor matching super perfect. And then what's wrong now? It does do that. Comet model should extend net.minecraft.world. So maybe okay, but what argument does it want? Okay, so comment model. Tree related problem. What the? Abstract arrow. Methods. That's like that. That. Does that do it? Yeah, time for another halt. God, that hurts. Okay, one related problem. Over in here. Okay, so maybe this is just supposed to be an arrow renderer. What? Okay, entity renderers. So maybe it's arrow renderers. Jeez, what the heck? Ah. See ya. What am I doing? Comment entity. You know what? Fine. We'll make it a living entity. We'll do all those. Create constructing matching super, except now we make this public. And then let me get rid of those. Get rid of all of those, and then the last methods I need. There. Were you happy? Good. Comment entity, good. Comment renderer now needs, what was it? Entity renderer. And this needs comment entity. Yeah, the comet is alive.
.rhino.get, and then the rhino renderer, we can size this up differently. So for example, we can say if key entity dot is
renderer. There, implement methods, I take it? Yeah, except I can fix that just by doing that. There. Now what's wrong with you? Entity.customer comment. Should extend mob. Okay, fine. Okay. I think we're almost getting somewhere. Okay. Is that it? There. Let's see if that works. Comment entity has not been extending the right thing, because technically I'm watching a tutorial on how to make a living entity. And I was trying to just, like, bullshit my way through into, like, just making a non-living entity. But I guess I have to make a living entity. Probably because it doesn't have any attributes. This is very frustrating. Well, let's see. What to do. See, all I want to know takes that. Well, I don't want it to be a living entity though, because then I have to do like a lot of extra stuff. Okay, so I need to extend entity renderer and then Okay, well, let's first go into... First go back into Comet Entity. And it'll extend End Crystal. No, probably not. Let's just go with Fireball again. Yeah. Okay. So now this will be Entity Renderer. The renderers or renderer? Renderer. So no S. Okay. Does that work? Well, I would try to make a living entity first, but that's like, I've already done that before. In a different mod that's not this, and it's definitely not what I want. Okay, well, we're back to square one. Let's look back here. Wow, this is weird. Maybe Fireball isn't what's most... Well, no, because it definitely is. And how does the Fireball get rendered? Snowball is a throwable projectile. That wouldn't have a renderer, I don't think. Let's see what that does. Well, now it explodes, I guess. That's pretty cool. Maybe... Because I definitely want it to be a projectile. Maybe a shulker bullet? Because a shulker bullet definitely gets a model. So I guess let's see what happens if I make it extend shulker bullet. Well, how does the shulker bullet get rendered? Let's see. Whoa. It looks like... Whoa. It looks like it makes the model in it. So no. Does it know what kind of mob it is? Oh. Where'd the renderer go? There it is. I just... So... Comet model. And this would be Comet entity. And then need to reference this. Filter bullet renderer. Key context dot bake layer model layers dot filter bullet. So maybe if I add that. Okay, well, let's look back here.
Baby, we can say, you know what? Now act to shadow radius, and that's gonna be okay. For the text,
Maybe I need to say new comment model key context dot bake layer model layers dot comment layer. Does that work? I don't think that worked. It could have. This might crash me the second. I'm not sure how the coding is going, if I'm being completely honest. Not great. That much I do know. But, you know, maybe if I'm lucky, it'll work now. Yeah. Expected a crash. I have almost 3, actually. See, if we could just get the entity to render, the rest is so smooth. The rest will be smooth sailing easily. Like, the worst issue we'll encounter after we get the entity to render is, like, balancing the numbers. And that's, like, literally it. Brakes are overrated. There, I'm changing the name of the stream. It's so over, bros. Okay, but how many people do you know were actually killed by that? Like, I know cortisol, the stress chemical, can, like, have negative effects on you. But I'm not exactly stressed. I'm not unhappy with my life. I'm chillin', even though I work constantly. I don't think anyone ever died from overworking themselves, unless it was like a physical thing. But this isn't physical. You could die from overexertion, from like, your physical muscles, like, not functioning anymore. But obviously this is way different. I'm fine. I ain't gonna die. I'm too cool for that anyway. So... I still eat. I still sleep. I get all the stuff I need. And it's not like I'm miserable. So I'm fine. So, however, in about like 11 minutes, I'm gonna call it a day if I still don't have this working. If I do get it to work, then I'll be really freaking excited, and then I'll probably keep working on it. But... Oh, shut up about this. We'll figure that out later. I'm not sure what any of that did. So, wouldn't that do the same thing if I put that there? Okay, so then do we even need this? Yeah, no, I'm not getting paid. 2 of my jobs I don't get paid for yet. But one of them's just because it's commission-based, because I'm a real estate agent, and this one I'm just working my ass off trying to meet the monetization requirements. So thank you all for being here, because like every second you spend here, the closer I get to being monetized. And that would be a good day. Oh wait, I'm looking for the Shulker renderer. You know what? Let's just... Yeah, let's put that in there and see what that does. Just this whole thing. Alright. Let's see what happens. I'm really hoping it works, like really bad. Thank you. Alright, please, 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 please. Let's fucking go. Oh, yeah. Gotta love that. Oh, man. Alright, you know what we'll do? We're gonna create a GitHub repository. Do I have it set up? Looks like I'm not signed in. Whoa. There we go. Repositories. How do I make a new one? This is confusing. How do I put it on GitHub? Mega B, you're still here, right? How do I do this? We're just trying to put this on GitHub so that I can beg everyone else to try and figure it out until next stream, which is Tuesday. You don't know how to do it? Damn it. Okay. Settings. It's okay. ICV Forge 1.20.1. Here we go. Okay, and then here we go. Did that work? I don't remember where that is. Oh man, it's in here somewhere. So yeah, ICV. Yeah, I've got no idea. There we go. Okay. That's frustrating. What do I do? Okay. Let's see. How to put your IntelliJ project on GitHub. So get GitHub share project. It that do it? That looks like it has absolutely nothing on it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do now. That's not what I meant. Upload new files. Start with this one. The hell you mean that file is hidden? But okay, fine. There. That file's hidden, I guess. Why can't I see any of the damn files? I uploaded a ton. Upload files. Source code. There. That's what matters. That was awful. Oh, push? Go to Brent. No, I was not reading chat. Well, when I did push, there was nothing there. Merge. Sure. Huh. Oh, whatever. Thank you all for attending the stream. I think I'm gonna have to call it a day here. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.